Right, so here's a little update. You can see I removed the fender, removed the axle. The moment the axle is sitting on the workbench, it has got a grease mixed with hydraulic fluid mixed with water in the bearings. In the meantime, I have emptied the case, the gearbox, hydraulic fluid. There's here a small bucket container, there's a larger one in the corner. About 2 liters of water came out first, and then the oil started. And now we got some coffee or caramel milkshake. Any idea what to do with that? So now I'm going to remove this trumpet housing, because with all that water is not a very good lubricant, so I don't know what it's done to the bearings. There were a few metal shavings on the end of the magnetic drain plug. That is normal, I've read, but still want to have a look at the bearing, and if by removing this left side I can also remove the crown differential, and I can have a look into the other side, the right hand axle bearing, and without actually removing the trumpet housing. At the same time, I have looked, the bushing still looks pretty good. I can still see the square rectangular marks all the way around. I will clean it all up. At the same time, see if the Welch plug is still in its place. But of course, in order to remove this one, we got to jack it back up, then support underneath here, and then we can remove this one and remove the housing if all goes to plan. So need to support the whole gearbox, plenty of supports in order to prevent it from toppling this way. So that's the plan. Now I've got my trusty designer work light here. This one's helping me out, otherwise it's quite dark in here, especially on a rainy day. Also, I went ahead and removed the battery tray. It's incredibly sticky, greasy, dirty. That needs cleaning off. The battery cable here needs replacing. That's no good. It's cracked in multiple places. It's very hard, so I'll have to order those, but I'll just order a generic battery cable, seeing as this one specifically made is 24 euros and the battery cable itself is like 11. So that's left to do. This is the regulator. It doesn't look too hot. It's made in Paris, France, but I have bought an alternator conversion kit. It comes with a complete new wiring harness, so you can strip out all of these old wires, and although some wires look okay, others I don't know what they do. Here's the ignition switch. You can see here and there things have been touched. There's here a random red cable. This, I believe, is the indicator switch. Then we got this one was connected to the horn. The previous owner said the horn did not work, so I removed the horn, tested it with the battery. The horn makes a sound. It's not a great sound, but there's a sound, so I just think it needs a good clean. Can be taken apart. So obviously something with the switch does not quite work, seeing as it is connected to the light switch. So that's another interesting thing. We got here just a plug. I think this might go to the trailer connection. I don't quite know. And here we've got this glow plug wire is not looking the hottest, but we'll see how that goes. There's some broken insulation over here. This, okay, the generator is being replaced, but these wires are hanging on by a thread. And we've got the headlight assembly board connections. This is also looking great, and the corrosion has set in. The wires would just cut off. So I think instead of trying to repair the wiring harness that is here, it's just easier to buy a whole new harness and hopefully save a headache in the future. Because the new harness with the alternator has a built-in regulator, so you can get rid of that. Might clean it up, take it apart. I don't think it works anymore. It looks a bit burnt as well. Anyway, we'll do that. We'll try and clean this all off. Also, the tractor meter that measures the engine speed that is connected to the front of the injection pump. That cable was free, but the union connecting it to the housing was split. The cable is also bent in places, so that might give some resistance. I've not yet tested the thermal connection to the temperature sensor. I still need to test that, and I also still need to test to see if the tractor meter spins. But okay, and then we got the steering assembly. Parts for this are quite cheap. And we got another looking oil leak over there, although it may just be seeping from the dipstick. I don't know if this is supposed to be a seal or not, but okay. It's all very oily. Also, of course, wouldn't help if it's being ran with a transmission that is over full due to 2 or 3 liters of water. So that's, I think, where we are at currently. Some parts have arrived. So this piece here is all rusted. The previous owner cut it all off, so that is a little bit too far gone to be saved. This piece here is still fine. The piece that was here for some, he cuts out. Not really sure why. It honestly didn't really look too rusty, too bad, so that was sat in here, like so. So the new piece has arrived, but it is grey, so I have to see what is happening there. The picture said red, actual item is grey, which it would have been for the earlier FE35, but okay. Then we also got the hose that connects the air filter to the intake, which would come over here, as well as 2 screws to hold the grill on, as I got one and the other I can't find. But okay, I'm making some progress, I hope. It always has to look worse before it gets better. Alright, thanks for watching this update, and I'll see you all on the next part.